Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Tonight, we're talking about Jack and Lilly Sullivan, who vanished from their Pictou County, Nova Scotia home on May 2nd, 2025. The RCMP gave an update the other day and said that this was a very bizarre case, certainly out of the ordinary. What happened to Jack and Lily? None of us really know to date, and they've still not yet been found. But we are always going to be here until Jack and Lily are found. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the stepfather, Daniel Martell, who has consistently and repeatedly gave out many versions of what he says occurred on May 2nd, 2025. And we're going to dig through some of those things. So hold on tight. We're going to talk about it all on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They call me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me judged by the gloss, not the cost. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul, through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Let me fix this. Could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is December 26th. Happy Boxing Day 2025. It is currently 9:43 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Bonjour. Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me. It is Boxing Day for some fellow Canadians and fellow people in the UK. I think Australia celebrates it as well, maybe. Something like that. Something like that. Tonight we're talking about Jack and Lilly Sullivan, who vanished from their Pictou County, Nova Scotia home on May 2nd, 2025. And since then, there's been no sighting of Jack or Lilly. And it's very rare, almost unheard of, for two children to disappear that age together and not find anything at all other than a pink blanket that was way up in the tree that, in my opinion, was planted. The one that Daniel, the stepfather, did not talk about for several days and said that nothing was found. And then 5 days later, he said that, yeah, it was her pink blanket, meaning Lily's. And so they virtually found nothing. Nothing of Jack and Lilly that would point that they actually left on their own accord. No dog scent, no air scent, nothing with drones, nothing with the helicopters, nothing at all. Right? Justin, Boxing Day was yesterday. Today is the 27th. It's the 26th here, boo-boo. It's the 26th here. You're a day ahead of us. Sorry. Happy Boxing Day to those Americans that don't celebrate Boxing Day. Yes. Maurice is from a land down under. That's where she is. All right, guys, do me a favor. Please hit that thumbs up button. Really, really would appreciate it. And when you do, every time you hit the like button, just one time, Daniel Martell adds another paragraph to his explanation. Okay, so you don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss it. Let me say hello to a few of you in chat real quick. Hello, Wolfie, Sharon, Kim, McCann, and them. Another Kim, Brenda, Sassy, Miss Joyous. Good to see you, Sherry, Wolfie, Happy Turtle, Angel Wings, Susie Q, Maurice. Good to see you, Kim. Let's see here. Happy Turtle, hello. Anna to the banana, ZY Goat. Good to see you, my dear. Spare Time, Allison, Kim, Susan. Good to see you, my dear. Roti, or we say Roti. Retoria. Good to see you, love. Who else do we got? Booper, good to see you. Who else? Oh, guys, by the way, Wolfie and Charmaine is going to be live Sunday on Charmaine's channel, and they're going to have, I forget the search name right now, but they're going to have the guys that recently searched for Jack and Lilly. Please bring me home. That's what it is. Please bring me home. Thought of it. On their channel Sunday, so you don't want to miss that. You want to go over there and see Charmaine and sub up if you haven't yet, because I'm sure it'll be great. Hey, Miss Holly, thank you so much, my love. You and Lloyd and the family had an amazing holiday. I pray that you did, my dear. Good to see you, and thank you so much. If you received one of those pearl necklaces, make sure you give our girl Holly a big thank you. Thank you so much, love. Good to see you. Um, yeah, yep. Okay, all right, guys, let's get it started. Hey, Crime Science, Robin, good to see you. Michelle, hello. Um, so I was going through some of my emails earlier, and someone sent me some disturbing, in my opinion, pictures. And I wanted to show you these. Oh my God, it's bad. Um, 1 second. These are some photos that I don't think I had ever seen. If you are sensitive to, any type of abuse or anything like that, this might not be for you. In my opinion, it goes without being unsaid that something there was abuse and neglect in this home. I think there is way too much, in my opinion, to believe otherwise. From Daniel's texting and saying that his kids claimed that he abused Jack and Lily, to the pictures that we have seen with the black eyes, to Malehya saying that he was really hard on particularly Jack, to his exes speaking, um, to Malehya's grandmother saying that she believed Daniel was being abusive specifically toward Jack. And more, a lot more, right? So let me show you this. First off, these babies were clearly not cared for. Now, I don't think some people were saying they believe this is bruising. I do not believe this is bruising. I believe this is fingernail polish, in my opinion. I hope it's fingernail polish. But it is very interesting. It might be bruising. Now that I'm looking at it a little bit closer, it is bruising because this finger doesn't have it either. I don't know. I thought it was nail polish, but I don't know if that's nail polish now because you can see like the light bruising around here. Which makes me very, very sad. And just the dirt under her nails as well. I thought it was, but it's clearly not because look, you can see this one's not as bruised. You can see this one's not as bruised. Fuck. Oh my God, guys. I thought it was nail polish. I really did until I just really zoomed in. Yeah, it looks like her whole hand is swollen and her knuckles as well. Look at here. I mean, you can even see like bruising through here. Slam the door in something. Boy, that's really sad. God. Mm-mm-mm. These kids just lived a rough life because of the individuals that was supposed to care for them. Yeah, the pinky looks really bad. Pinky looks really bad. And oh God, very painful. Very, very painful. Okay. So there's more. Let me find it. Now, some people, Malehya's grandmother said the pinky looks crooked and like broke. Yeah. Mine too, Booper. I tell you something. This infuriates the shit out of me, to be honest with you. Why don't you go hit a man, Daniel? A man. This makes me lose my cool. Clearly, something is wrong here. No fucking wonder they didn't send these kids to school. No wonder. I don't know how anybody can support that motherfucker, to be honest with you. Mm-mm. This one isn't, Sunshine. This one isn't. And the reason these pictures came out is because of a reason. That's all I can say. It's not. He actually he actually has bruising down here as well. It was right here, but he had bruising down here. Poor baby. You can. Let me see if I can do it like this. Why is it not doing it? 1 second. This is definitely not. That is blue and purple. It looks like the center color, the sides of the head. Yeah. Yes, it did, Pugs. And that's what I'm saying. Do you know how much force that took? Most of us have never been bruised like this in our life, let alone a 4-year-old. 4. Oh, yeah. It does. He has, let me find it. He even has bruising that goes down here. It was all over here. Poor baby. Poor baby. And you can see, let me see which one is this that I'm showing. Because there's two of them. There's actually two. Okay, there's that one. And then there is another one. Actually, there might be three of them. Piece of garbage, Daniel. So sad. 1 second, guys. I'm trying to find what I do with it. Did I throw it? What? Okay, here it is. It is Baba. A shadow. My ass, Daniel. You are the biggest bitch that skin's ever stretched over, as far as I'm concerned. Daniel. Anyone that does this to any human being, much less a 4-year-old, a preschooler. You piece of garbage. Something's wrong with you. And then guys, I just need a minute. I just need a minute because I don't want to just start screaming, because I'm not a screamer, but I get so fucking pissed off when I see things like this. Yeah. Well, there we have it. There we have it. Poor little Lily's nails look bruised as well. Let me show you. For those of you that missed it, I think I have it here. I mean, how does... listen, I'm a country kid. I was born and raised in the country, and I had dirt under my nails too. Okay. But I can tell you one thing I didn't have. In a Christmas picture, I didn't have dirt under my nails, and I didn't have it going to bed at night either. Kids should play in the dirt as far as I'm concerned. But no. Not like this. Not like this at all. It's really a shame. Thank you, Lori, man. Appreciate you, my dear, for gifting that pearl necklace. If you received that, make sure you thank our dear Lori. Appreciate you, love. Thank you, Tina. Appreciate you, honey. And if you received that, make sure you thank our dear Tina. Appreciate you very, very much, my dear. Starflower coming to clutch at 19 months. Thank you so much, my friend, for your continued support. Can't do it without you. At minimum, this caused a concussion, but also possibly a serious head injury. Yep. Yeah. And just remember, in Easter, right before right before in Easter, Jack told them that when they stand with grandmas and stuff, that he didn't want to go back because he didn't like Daniel. That's right. And I hope he gets the biggest bubba on the block, Wolfie. Look at Jack's nails in the same pic. Let me see if I can see his nails in those. Oh my God. What the fuck were they doing to these kids? Here's Jack's nail. Look at that. What the fuck? What are they doing? Thank you, Kim. I swear to God, I swear to the Lord, help me, Lord. It's a fungus or an injury. One. Thank you, April. Daniel, you know something? You need to repent, and you need to not only ask for forgiveness, in my opinion. You need to ask God, you need to ask Jack and Lily, how do you do this to a 4 and 6 years old? Guys, he was a preschooler. I don't know. I don't know what's up with the pinky one. I don't know. I don't know if that's just skin or what. See, these are fine. But it looks like this one's been damaged. Look at that. Look at that nail, the way it's shaped. Malehya, if you let this man do this to your kid. Yeah. Yeah, Michelle. I don't know if it is Starflower. I don't know. but his fingernails are clearly the other ones that are even fine. This has been damaged. You can tell because it's not even a straight cuticle. It's sideways. Poor babies. This might have fingernail polish on it. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know if it's a glare, but this one's definitely injured. Bad. Absolutely. Let me tell you something. I mean, this is for me, spare time, it's kind of like, did the chicken or the egg happen first, right? Which we kind of know in this, the chicken or the egg. I don't know. But regardless, she's the mother. She had them. She went into a relationship. She made another baby with them. And she did nothing. But then I think, so she's equally just as bad as someone who would do that to a kid. So to me, there is no worse one. She's equally. She had plenty of times to get out. Listen, most of us would sleep under a fucking bridge before allowing that, even seeing a man touch your child, let alone bruise the fuck out of their head. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, absolutely. Listen, Janie, you cannot convince me that that broad had no idea what was going on in that home. No wonder Malehya didn't like her. And she didn't like Malehya. No wonder. Shit. Constantly. No wonder. You can't convince me that the night these cars were rolling in and out, car rather, was rolling in and out, that her and her dog didn't hear anything. I agree, spare time. It could be Robini. I don't know. But remember, Malehya said she didn't even change him the night that they vanished. Oh, Stormy, they're going to be found. They're going to be found. They're going to be found. And that's a good point. Good point, conscious beings. She lived off the government. She wasn't stuck. Hell no. Never thought of that. Very good point. Very good point. They went to bed in filthy clothes. Yeah, you didn't change your sick kids, Malehya. You know, the ones that supposedly had a cough. You didn't even change them. Piece of garbage. In another case, a little boy passed away and they held the CPS worker responsible. He was, yeah. Sometimes they should be. what these kids went through. No child, no human should go through that because you're all paranoid out. Yeah, you can handle your math, can't you, Daniel? You can't handle nothing. You're a bitch. Poor little Lily and Jack. I almost think MBM left the babies and ran up and down to friends with her new vehicle wheels or babies. I don't know. I mean, I would hate to say they got in a fight that night. They got in a fight Thursday night. Ask Sunny. She'll tell you. They got in a fight Thursday night. And if we have this happening, hold on a normal fucking day, if we have this happening on a normal day, I would have hated to have seen how it was that night. I'm going to tell you something. I always try to think of like if my kid was Daniel, right? Like if I had a kid, God forbid, but if I ever had a kid like Daniel, and I cannot imagine, first of all, I'm just trying to imagine what, and I don't care if it was, they weren't biologically my grandkids. You hurt any kid, and you better pray the police get there faster than than your daddy. I'm going to tell you that right now. You better pray. A grown person should never, ever. The thing about this is you are not only hurting those kids physically, right? You're breaking their spirit. You are breaking their spirit when something like that happens. Right? You never forget those. For those of you that were spanked as a child, I was. And it did nothing but scare the hell out of me. That's it. It didn't teach me anything. It just taught me, oh, I'm going to get an ass whooping if I do this. Didn't teach me a damn thing. Absolutely. Absolutely. And yet, I understand, again, Daniel's her son. But you can do the right thing, Janie, because you know more. You know more. He probably did. You know, he had bruises all the time, according to Daniel. Thank you, Ziwa. Thank you, Starflower. All right. Well, let's continue on and call out his bullshit. Right? Because he certainly has lied his ass off. Okay. Just going back, looking at some. Who took those? Of course, Malehya. Malehya or someone else. That's all I'll say. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mop handles hurt. Ooh, goodness. All right, guys, hit the thumbs up if you haven't yet. I'd greatly appreciate it. Martell said he was in the bedroom with his partner and their baby when he last saw Jack and Lily on the morning of May 2nd. He recalled that Lily was wearing a pink top and that she had poked her head in the door of their bedroom prior to departing. Minutes later, he heard the sliding door that leads into the backyard open and close. One of the very first reports, Daniel said he heard the door opening and close. Read it again. Poked her head in the door from prior to departing. Minutes later, he heard the sliding door that leads onto the backyard open and close. Oops. Damn, what'd I do? Okay. Minutes later, he heard the sliding door open and close that leads into the backyard open and close. Martell had an estimated within a quote few minutes, he set out to find the children, driving his vehicle on the back roads and looking into culverts for them without success. Well, tell us. Yes, he heard it. Yep, he says he heard. Didn't you, Daniel? What's that? He recalls seeing Lily and MBM was sleeping, but also contends that MBM gave both kids away and some mysterious kidnapper. Can't be true. Thank you, Bonnie. Exactly. Exactly. Tell me lies. Tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies. Yes, he heard the door. Heard it. He recalled that Lily was wearing a pink top. Well, let's start right there. Let's start right there because I have text messages from Daniel Mattel that says they're not wearing what you think they're wearing. ... And I'll just leave it at that. Now, first of all, if that would be true, A, why didn't you tell the RCMP that they're not wearing what we told you they were wearing? Right? And then he goes on and proceeds and says he can't tell us why. There's a lot of things about this investigation that's got to be shh. And I guess the why it's got to be shh is because, in my opinion, it's his and Malehya's little secret. Yes, math hell. Math hell. Exactly. He recalled that Lily was wearing a pink top when she had poked her head in the door of the bedroom prior to departing. Minutes later, he heard the sliding door that leads onto the backyard open and close. Martel had estimated within, quote, a few minutes, he set out to find the children driving his vehicle. Again, his vehicle as well. His vehicle. Right? We all know about that little fuck up, Daniel. Right? Let's play it for those in the back. Let's play it for those in the back. How about that? I'm gonna.
So what I did is I parked the white Nissan Pathfinder, because that's the car.
Oops, hold on 1 second. Let's share the math mouth. Let's go ahead and share the math mouth.
So what I did is I parked the white Nissan.
Watch his eyes go sideways right there, real quick. He knows
white Nissan Pathfinder.
Watch.
The white Nissan Pathfinder, because that's the car.
See his lizard lips? He knows it's a lie. It's a physical reaction.
Pathfinder, because that's the car Malehya owns, the 2017 Nissan white Pathfinder.
He closes his eyes because it's not true. He's got to think. If you've never experienced it, right, it doesn't stick in your brain if you've never experienced it. So you have to override your brain, and you're not going to remember it like something you've actually experienced, right? Then when he starts, he's trying to figure out what he's going to say next because he's covering up his shit, is what he's doing. Ooh, what happened to my computer? Ooh. Can y'all see me? 1 second, y'all. I gotta refresh. I can't see myself. What is going on here? Sorry about that. Do apologize. Okay. And then he says, I took my keys. He says it twice. And then he says, I took the keys, right? Well, let's just tear it all on down, Daniel. Let's just tear it on down, right? Babylon is fell, bitch. Okay. The children's stepfather, Daniel Mathtel, burst into tears when he heard the news. Quote, I'm completely exhausted After living through 6 days of hell, it's completely crazy, end quote, he told the CBC. I know everyone has done their best to conduct the search. I know they can't continue forever, but we remain hopeful. Yeah, I know they can't go on forever, right? They're exhausted. It's costing millions of dollars. Maggie May, thank you so much, my dear, for gifting a Thank you so much. If you receive them, make sure you give our girl Maggie May a big ol' thank you. Thank you so much, Maggie May, for your support. Really, really do appreciate that. Paula, liars can't say sensible things because they're lying. Correct. Annie says, as a physical abuse survivor, I remember going to school at 5 years old with black eyes and noticing I was much different than the other children. I know how much force it takes to give these injuries, poor baby. Annie, I am so sorry you have been through that, but thank you for helping advocate for Jack and Lily. Yep, yep. And that's what I've said. We've always called him the stepfather because the media has, but he's just the mom's boyfriend. He's not a stepfather. He's not even a father, in my opinion. He's a sperm donor, but that's about it. So he says this can't continue, this cannot continue forever looking at Jack and Lily. Not even if they leave, I'm going to continue looking. I'm not going to stop, that kind of thing. Nope, they just can't continue. Daniel Mathel has repeatedly expressed concern that the children may have been abducted. However, according to the police, there is no evidence to suggest for an abduction. For this reason, no Amber Alert has been issued. Okay. All right. Let me find something here. Okay. This is when they said the probability of the children's survival at that time elapsed since their disappearance and weather conditions, quote, had been taken into account, end quote. Remember, they were still, Daniel had a fire in the stove when Jack and Lily went missing. Staff Sergeant Curtis McKinnon confirmed Wednesday that search teams had found no trace of Jack or Lily despite exploring more than 100 leads. Quote, at some point we had to make a decision, end quote. He said the scope of the search. Right. They also said they exhausted after 6 days of intensive search. Quote, it's difficult terrain, end quote. We were wearing people down and we're starting to see more injuries, end quote. Yeah. Here, I forgot to show y'all this. I forgot to show you. I found some. Well, I got something here. I'm going to show you. Mr. Mattel, this is when he was in a chat. He said, forensics on the blanket is a key piece. And how would you know that, Daniel? How would you know that? You said it was planted, but you're the one that absolutely the only one that denied the blanket was Lily's. What is it Faye was asking about? What did Faye say? It's probably some AI. I see y'all saying that. There's a lot of fake things out there. Guys, look at this. Daniel, the wizard here, he says that he has been following, yes, 5 years I've been true crime. He said he's been following true crime for 5 years. Children are involved. You have to go classes and it takes a year for the divorce. Yeah. Yeah, he's been in true crime for 5 years. So I guess you've followed a lot of cases, then, haven't you, Daniel? Right? Okay. All right, let me show you this. I think I got it here. Bear with me, guys. Now, take a screenshot of this, and next time anyone sees Daniel, ask him about this. Ask him why the hell he lied. Would be a good start. Daniel initially told police and the Globe on May 5th. That's 2 days after. Right? The pink blanket found in the woods did not belong to Lily, but he later changed his story. Now, please remember, RCMP wouldn't say anything about a blanket. Didn't say nothing about a blanket. Not one time. For months. Hey, Funduski, good to see you, honey. Mary Stevens, thank you so much, honey. Appreciate you. I gave DT money, like all my favorite channels, for Xmas, and he blocks me very next live. Now unsubscribe to DT. Oh, wow. I'm sorry. What happened to you? Did you contact him? I'm frozen again? Am I frozen again? Okay. I was frozen earlier. She might be behind. You were watching a movie with your mom? What movie? I'm jealous. Just kidding. Okay. See something, say something. What the fuck is wrong with all of them family members on both sides? Shame. Okay. Okay, here it is. Here we go. This is Daniel. Quote, basically, at this point, they just want to look at any tech that could help match up any phones that came into the yard, he said. That's what he said. Well, this is when Daniel is trying to, tell people that there was, a black SUV at the end of the driveway, or someone might have, came in and abducted the kids, right? Remember, he tried DT said that Daniel believes that, someone came in the house that morning and took Jack and Lily out. Now, DT said he didn't believe that, but that's what Daniel, right? I think he did something to the kids to hurt MBM. I think he's just a petty bitch. That afternoon, a friend drives him to the Children's Protective Services office in Stellaron, where he requests to see his 16-month-old daughter, but is denied. Quote, as of now, I can't be around Meadow, he said during an interview the following day. Quote, with the kids going missing, Children Protective Services wants to keep a tight leash on everything. And we know this because, well, CPS said that they had been there prior and that they was there again. And we have the text message of Daniel saying that his children told on him that he was mean or abusive to the kids. Mr. Martell says he's been exceedingly cooperative with the investigation. Quote, I gave them everything from my phone. That statement right there tells me, in my opinion, there's a lie there. I gave them everything from my phone. I gave them everything from my phone. You would say I gave them my phone. Daniel, do you have a burner phone? I'm sure the RCMP already knows about that, though. Quote, I gave them everything from my phone. I asked for a lie detector test and drug test. Okay. I'm the only one trying to move this forward and give information that I have. What kind of information do you have? Yep. Did Malehya say they couldn't hear the sliding door? Yes, she did. She certainly did. I know. And if that mother chicken passes a rug test, then something's in the water. That's all I got to say. He adds, the police are looking at the wireless router in his home to see who connected to the internet at what times. Oh, wow. They are looking at the wireless router in his home. Was the router at his house or Junkyard Janie's house? Didn't the mom say? Yes, she did, Lori. Yes. A large RCMP truck in the area, Mr. Mattel says the RCMP scoured Lansdowne Lake from above by helicopter and also went into the lake but found nothing. Right. Okay. Now, this is what Jim Hoskins said. I think he's retired RCMP. They gave a big clue and they said no abduction. That's a big statement to make at this early in the game, end quote. He is a retired Halifax regional police officer and former major crime staff sergeant who is not working on the Sullivan case. So he was major crimes, right? Yep. Yep. You're not going to keep it away from him. My ex's parents were more concerned about me calling the law on him after the first time he attacked me. That's just so terrible, April. I'm so sorry. Right? Hoskins says, in his opinion, as someone who isn't privy to the information regarding the RCMP's ongoing investigation, he can only see two remaining possibilities. He believes the children either legitimately got lost in the woods or there's criminal involvement. It's bizarre, he says. Okay. Mr. Martell has said he had nothing to do with the children's disappearance and has nothing to hide. If someone says they have nothing to hide in something like this, they have a lot of shit to hide, usually. Quote, I'm keeping the story alive and keeping everyone's hopes up, not just my own. Thank you. Thank you, Daniel, for keeping everyone's hopes up. I don't know how you do it. I don't. Maybe it's just the meth pop, bursting through your veins. Maybe lungs, whatever. Could be, might be, possibly. Mr. Martell told the Globe in May. He also said Miss Brooks Murray had no involvement in the disappearance. Quote, I know Malehya had nothing to do with anything, even though you say she has. That you'll visit her in prison and that she's trying to throw you under the bus. Child welfare authorities investigate when a report of a suspect neglect or abused is received by the agency. In Nova Scotia, every person has a legal obligation to report concerns of suspected abuse or neglect of a child. The law stipulates that teachers and other child care workers have an added duty to report. Okay. Okay. This is May 4th. May 4th. Daniel's quote from the Globe and Mail. Quote, Lily came into the room multiple times. I seen her that morning and Jack was out playing in the kitchen. I'm guessing. You're guessing? You're guessing Jack was out playing in the kitchen? Because you're quoted there. Daniel. Notice how he doesn't talk about Jack that much. He can't talk about Jack that much, in my opinion, because that's when he gets a little bit emotional. Because I'm sure the things potentially that was allegedly, perhaps, maybe, possibly done to him. Read it right here. Lily came into the room multiple times. I seen her that morning and Jack was playing out in the kitchen, comma, I'm guessing. And they slid the door open. The back sliding door, it's almost like silent to hear it sliding. They slid it open. The boots were right beside the door and they proceeded to, comma, I'm guessing, playing outside. Boy, he's just walking us right through it, isn't he? He's just walking us right through it. Trumpicana. I'm guessing. You're guessing, Daniel. Hey, Mohawk came into the room indifferent, then poking a head in the door. Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, he's like, their boots were right beside the door. I'm guessing they slid the door open and proceeded to go outside and play. I'm guessing. No, it didn't happen. It didn't happen, Maggie. That's why their entire story of the morning falls flat. If anyone believes anything of that story is true, I've got like ocean front property in Arizona to sell you. Seriously. Yeah. They must have got out through the back fence and they were gone. Now here he says the back fence. Daniel, one of these days, if you go up in the clink, I hope Bubba gets in your back fence. I do. The biggest Bubba that ever bubbed. Buddy. Boo boo. I hope he gets in your back fence every fucking night and twice a day and 3 times on the weekend. Moving on. As soon as I seen that they were gone, immediately jumped in the car and did all the dirt roads and all the culverts, checked over the rivers with an S and streams with an S. As soon as I got home, 10 minutes later. He did all of that in 10 minutes, y'all. He did all of that in 10 minutes. Went over the rivers and the streams and the culverts in 10 minutes. You're a minute man, aren't you, Daniel? No wonder you can't keep a woman. Moving on. As soon as I got home 10 minutes later, I headed out on foot. Wow. You see, that changed. That changed because before you said they told you not to go back in the woods, Daniel. Remember that, Daniel? And you said you go over there and you talk to your mother, right? And then you talk. I think you said he talked to his Uncle Ron too, but I could be wrong about that one. But I know you talked to your mother over at the camper, right? Okay. Rain complicated things in the search efforts, and search and rescue teams worked through dense forest and boggy conditions. Drones equipped with infrared technology are used at night to look for any trace of the children. Okay. All right. Daniel says he was asked to go over details and timelines to the minute and draw on maps where he thinks the children could be. Quote, they're easy on me because they know I'm telling the truth about everything. Oh, man. Yeah. I'm telling you, if the RCMP thinks you're truthful about everything, then they got to be smoking the quacks too, Daniel. Okay. That's what he says, though. Okay. Where was it? Mr. Martell said he handed over some of the children's stuffed animals to the RCMP at the request of Miss Brooks Murray, Lily's white unicorn, and Jack's blue dinosaur. He said he also gave the police the baby's white giraffe and the mom's pink bear. Mr. Mathtel told the Globe the police advised him they were bringing in cadaver dogs and the RCMP divers to search nearby Lansdowne Lake. So Daniel told us months ago that they were bringing in cadaver dogs, right? Oh, yes, Daniel's watching right now. He watches every time. He loves this channel. I mean, he's probably a member because I know he watches my member only lives. Sunday, Roxy, Sunday. Okay. Okay. This is when he said, okay. Okay. The stepfather told CBC he's been fully cooperating and giving the police access to, quote, everything I own, end quote. Martell said the kids were not at school on Friday when they were reported missing or the day before because Lily had a cough. Quote, they searched every rock, every root, everything, Mathtel said. Quote, I've been giving them every detail, everything from my bank account statements to all the information that came off my Google Maps, end quote. Well, it doesn't matter when you're broke and you don't take your fucking phone. Right, Daniel? Right. Thank you for agreeing.
RCMP, open up.
That's right. Kick rocks. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, here is Malehya's brother's ex-girlfriend, right? Saw your post about the missing kids. I met them several times, dated their uncle. They were not cared for, and stepfather is a rug addict. My heart broke for them when I met them, and it breaks for them now. What kind of rugs are we talking about? Coca-Cola. Daniel likes the math and the Coca-Cola. Loves the math and the Cokes. But the Cokes is really expensive for when you're, living like Daniel. Mom's brother. Okay. Okay. They are all junkies. Fill me in. What is the family like? She said parents lived with grandma. They used to live with Malehya's, mom. Stole from her and took advantage of her. They said she was an alcoholic. Okay. Did you guys ever try to involve the cops to bring her home? Yep, cops were at the place a lot. What made her finally leave him and the situation? In the end, Hayden was charged with assault and restraining order was put in place. Redacted is doing so much better now. The whole family is a mess. He was hitting her, threatening her, keeping her locked up. Yes, that's Malehya's brother. The stepfather, Daniel Mattel, told the Globe the police interviewed him for 4 hours at the Pictou County RCMP detachment in the Stellar on Tuesday night, following the 5th day of scouring the woods from the siblings near their home. They are not going to be interviewing you for 5 hours if they believe you had nothing to do with it, in my opinion. Oh, sorry, Glenda. Hope you're on the mend. Did Daniel try to access the victim's fund, which he was had provided up to $500 PU for a specified period, but couldn't because it was a criminal investigation? Just a tidbit I came across. Did Daniel? Is that a question, or is that did Daniel try to access the victim's fund, which would have provided up to $500 PW for a specified period? But Meadow couldn't even walk at 16 months old, and she was taken. So it wasn't for Meadow, in my opinion, the lock on the fridge. What's that? What kind of screenshots? If a child is hungry or sneaking food, that's a red flag. Yep. Yep. Daniel said they would sneak food as well. Okay. Were the children physically abused? This person said, I don't know, but she said the stepdad, Daniel, was giving redacted Coca-Cola, they allege. WTF, where were they getting the money for the rugs? Their house is a fucking dump. Redacted is open about this time with me now. It was an awful period, though. In Valley, they stole from the grandmother. True. Right. Daniel, this is a quote from Daniel. Quote, my story has been consistent. When you tell the truth, it's always consistent. You know, Daniel, that's going to go down in the hall of bullshit. That really is. I'm going to make Daniel an award to go down in the hall of bullshit because he has the only thing Daniel has ever been consistent about is being inconsistent. Is being inconsistent. Joe, what's going on? What's Joe talking about? I don't see Joe. Hold on. Okay, Joyce. Okay. I heard someone say stop or something like that. I was like, oh, he's just being silly. Okay. Meadow, she looked so like skinny and pale whenever she was thinking she didn't have a lot of hair or anything. You could tell she was like malnourished. Oh, Joe was joking. Gotcha. Okay. No worries. Oh, she looks so much better. Yes, gaunt. Maybe that was okay. 2 young Nova Scotia children still missing in the remote. He said police asked him to walk them through step-by-step details of exactly what happened on May 2nd. the day the children were reported missing. They asked him to draw maps and locations where the children could possibly be, he added. Let me tell you something. That is huge right there. And I know people think, why is that huge? Why is that huge? If you ever watch interrogations, right? Look if they believe someone is a suspect, or, they may not call you a suspect or whatever, but they will say, draw us where the person is, right? Or draw us where you think they may be. Now, I'm sure Daniel proceeded in that because he said he did. They were $11, Sam. Good luck with that. So think about that. Think about that. Now, if you were a parent and you didn't know where your kids were, right, or a caregiver, and you know your kids, you'd say, if the RCMP asked you to draw where you thought the kids would be, you would say, Mother Chicken, if I thought the kids were there, I would be there right now. Right? I would be there right now. Wouldn't be here. I'd be there. But for many times, people under pressure will do that. And it tells investigators a lot. The oyster shucker. Yes. The last time I had a pap smear, the doctor needed rubber gloves and an oyster shucker. And a Dremel. Not sponsored. You're welcome. Daniel, get over here. Clip your mama's toenails. I mean, the dogs. The dogs, I mean. Clip the dog's toenails. Canadian police don't release anything, do they? Not really. Not really. Jamie says, oh, nasty. Nasty. Can you imagine? Ew. Ew, God, I just got a bad image in my head. He got his diploma from Timu, probably. Can you imagine Daniel and Janie's gnarly ass feet, their toenails? I bet you, swear to you, I bet you Janie and Daniel, it looks like a fucking pterodactyl coming down. Betcha. Don't make us imagine that. Hey, my impulsive or intrusive thoughts. Yes. Dirty yurt. That's funny as shit, Joe. Dirty yurt. Cut my toenails with the Dremel. Lord, my toenails, Justin. Those beasts have hooves. Yes. I swear it looks like, I bet you it looks like a pterodactyl. Yuck. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Where was that? Tuesday night, following the 5th day of scouring the woods for the siblings near their home, Lily and Jack were reported missing around 10 a.m. Friday. Their mother, Malehya Brooks Murray, and Mr. Martell have said, notice the wording, have said, they awoke to a silent home and surmised the kids went out the sliding back door to play and wandered off. They haven't been seen since. And that's when Daniel says, my story has been consistent. All that. Okay. Where was I? Martell spoke with CTV Atlantic on Tuesday and said the only concrete clue they found during the search so far is a boot print on the edge of their property. Again, they had found the blanket way before that. And again, Daniel lied. Flat out lied about that. Several days later, he says, oh, yeah, that is Lily's. Even though he says he put 2 and 2 together. As soon as he heard the pink blanket, I said, a pink blanket? Can't stand him. He says all kinds of things. But the only concrete clue they found during the search so far was a boot print on the edge of the property. He added he spends every evening conducting his own search. And in parentheses, they should have put for math. He conducts his own search for math. That's all. That's it. That's all. That's the only thing I'm Mother Chicken searching for. Now listen to this. This is barely the 5th day, entering the 5th day. Quote, Mr. Martell says, hardly any evidence at all since the first day. What was the evidence the first day? Since the first day? What does that mean? Am I missing something? That's a good question. He says he's 100% sure that they're not in the woods. Quote, hardly any evidence at all since the first day. It's mind-boggling that nothing else was found, end quote, said Daniel Martell. Martell has been dating the children's mother for 3 years, and they have an 18-month-old together, which he was really small for 18 months. Martell said Lily and Jack never go into the woods by themselves. He describes them as vulnerable and autistic. Wow. For everyone, and even Daniel has said, okay, Sassy, thank you, honey. Even Daniel has said, Malehya said the kids were autistic. That's strange. The first thing she said to her mother when she saw her was, I told you they had autism. I've got that text. I've shown it to you as well. But here, Daniel describes them as vulnerable and autistic in the 5th day. Correct, Mohawk. planted blanket piece was day one. I said, a pink blanket? He's not searching, never did. Hell no. Didn't Janie's car disappear? He wrecked it. My youngest son is autistic and have him tested onto what and have had him tested at 2. What were they doing? Exactly. When Janie did an interview and she said, talking about bringing Jack out of the woods, she said dragging and then grabbing. Yes, correct. Exactly. You guys, Meadow was what? She's not thriving, cannot walk as a. Yeah. She's okay now. So I think. You bought wax teeth for Halloween. Listen. Don't tell Janie. But this isn't what he says. After that. Quote, we never cross the road. We have cabins. We built up in the woods. And that's where, usually, as far as we take them, end quote, he says. What does that mean, we never cross the road? You don't cross the road. You don't cross the road to get to the cabins. Unless you're talking about the other cabins, maybe. Yeah, you're probably right. I do. Thank you, Lisa. What are you asking me? What? What do you say? He's searching for rock money. Yes. I believe they're in the water too, but where? I think they're very close to water. Okay. Does anyone know what this means? What was Malehya about to do? Listen to this. I can't go on the res, meaning the reservation. She belongs to, it's dangerous for me. Why? Why would it be dangerous for you, Daniel? Because if Malehya told them what you may have done to her and especially her kids, they might do down mother chicken. She doesn't have the mental foresight to understand the complex nature of what she was about to do. 2 missing kids at the same time, 1 in a million. What was she about to do? Well, I think ZY, because are you talking about Malehya's mom? Yeah, crazy, but yeah. Exactly, Allison. Leave Daniel, maybe? Mm-hmm. Hey, Since. Did you have a good Christmas? She fell in love with Meadow, and Jack and Lily fell to the wayside. I lived it. I took care of Lily and Jack. She only cared for Meadow. Right? This is some of the things he said in my chat room. This was about the ATV. It's not stored on the property. He says he never drove the ATV, even though I'm going to show you where he says he drove the ATV. Blanket was found Saturday, and it poured down the night before. The blanket would have been beaten down to the ground from heavy rain. Whoever said that, thank you. That's a good point. It rained heavy that night before on Friday. The blanket would have been heavy when wet. Full size blanket. Come on, man. In pink. Then he said, yes, 20 or 30. I drew a map of my travels for major crimes. Right. Then he says, I have to hold back on some evidence because it's between me and major crime investigations. Why they... Okay. There's more evidence than the public knows, but I can't elaborate on any of that, said Martel. Now, okay, if there's more evidence, but the RCMP is saying they found no evidence, but Daniel has evidence, isn't that a red flag? Right? RCMP refused to answer questions about the blanket. However, the force did confirm the boot print was believed to be child size, right? These are all quotes from Mathtel. The children's stepfather, Daniel Martel, is thankful for the amount of support from trained professionals to volunteers looking for Jack and Lily. Quote, they can't go on forever. Everyone's exhausted at this point. It's just so hard on everybody, end quote, he said. That's right. Daniel was up for a full, 3 or 4 days on a math bender, and he needed his sleep. They brought in so many searchers, so many dogs, so many drones, so many planes and helicopters. I don't know if they are out there, Martel said. Really? They brought in so many searchers, so many dogs, so many drones, so many planes and helicopters. I don't know if they are out there, end quote, Martel said. So from the beginning, 5 days in, well, where else would they be? Mathdell, could you enlighten us a little? I truly think he says all this stuff out of resentment, justifying what really happens to this. Yeah. Hello, True Crime Junkie. Guys, if you're just joining us, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button one time. Every time you hit the like button, Daniel Martel adds another paragraph to his explanation. Booper Pot Pie, you are going to be super tired tomorrow. I feel like they are telling us with our, yep, they are. It's their anchors. A lot of times they're telling us, I mean, there's always some truth, right? Daniel told us, for example, who said that? Who said that? Michelle. Daniel said the route that he first took. That's true, I believe. Except the time is not true, in my opinion. The time is after midnight when Justin and them seen them, right? Okay. The children's mother has been with family elsewhere in the province over the last number of days. Quote, the first 2 days, this is Daniel, I ran through the woods screaming and yelling Lily and Jack until my throat hurt. He said, quote, but this search is so far out, I don't know where I could start. So let's think about this then. Let me just tell you the rationale that Daniel is saying right there. Daniel is saying they're searching so far out. They're searching so far out that he wouldn't even know where to start. Which says to me, if it's too far for Daniel, it's too far for a 4 and a 6-year-old to get there by themselves. Right? Right. So why would he expect Jack and Lily to be out there if it's too far for him? He's dumb as hell. Dumb as hell. Martell said the search area has expanded to 4 kilometers wide. He has lived in the community for over 2 decades and say the terrain has a lot of streams, rivers, and elevation changes. But again, Daniel, you seem to know about all of these woods and stuff. Why aren't you helping? This is the thing. People say Daniel never really searched. He did a lot of flopping around talking about people searching, but he never really searched that much. And remember, he said he was gone most of Friday and Saturday, which, in my opinion, is a big error. Quote, this is Daniel talking, with the amount of money that they spend on all the capabilities they have with helicopters, 2 drones, and people on the ground, they still have nothing, end quote, Mattel said. According to him, the lead commander on the case tried to show him a water bottle, a blanket, and 2 sweaters on May 5th, but they were not Lily and Jack's, Mattel said. One of them was. The children's stepfather said that he wants the public to keep an eye out for any discarded items in the area, including a pull-up diaper that Jack is likely to have taken off by now. Lily could have dropped the backpack she is carrying as well, and Jack's boots might slip off. To be honest with you, that water bottle and all that stuff, it makes me wonder sometimes if they planted more stuff and they just said, absolutely not, that's not theirs. Mm-hmm. Love you, Brandy. Night, Liz. Okay. Where am I? Let me find this. Okay. Listen to this right here. Water bottles DNA? Perhaps. Oh, crap. It was up here. 1 second.
She's on the phone with 911. I run up into the woods where the cabins are and look in the cabins, look around the area. Didn't see them. I'm screaming and yelling, Lily and Jack, Lily and Jack, Lily and Jack. And then I make my way down. There's a hill behind mom's RV. I make my way down, and Malehya's standing there. I'm not sure if she's still on the phone with 911. She might have been on speakerphone. Kind of looks like she was messaging.
Daniel will many times give 3 answers to one thing. And many times people do this because they're lying, and it's a nervousness and they don't even realize they're doing it. So he'll say something like this. And then I make my way down.
Mom's RV. I make my way down, and Malehya's standing there. I'm not sure if she's still.
And Malehya's standing there. I'm not sure if she's still on the phone with 911.
Still on the phone with 911.
She might
have been on speakerphone.
Have been on speakerphone. Again, why is that necessary? Why does it matter if she's on speakerphone or not?
Kind of looks like she was messaging.
Now it kind of looks like she was messaging.
But she.
So, hey Squid, good to see you, honey. Hey Allison. Yes, covering all possibilities. So she might have been on the phone with 911, right? Might have been on the phone with 911. And then he says she might have been on speaker. And then he says she might have been texting someone. Malehya says, no, I had to turn off the Wi-Fi and go into the corner of the trailer and call 911. Which is it?
Might have been on speakerphone with the dispatch. And so I say, I'm jumping in the car. So I ran inside. I tried to go into the front door. Door's locked. Ran through the back door, the back sliding door. Got it.
What happened? Hold on 1 second.
When you're running around and as you're going outside and you're looking, that gate outside, is it always open? Was it unlocked? Was it locked?
Sometimes it's open.
Was it open that morning?
I do not remember that. I don't remember I don't remember.
Remember what we just read a second ago. Daniel said that he believes the kids went out through the back gate. All them notebooks he supposedly had filled up, he should be writing all his different stories down, and who told them to maybe he could actually keep part of the story straight. Too late for that. Fun to ski. How are you, darling? Would the school district in Nova Scotia allow Jack to be in his pull-ups during school hours? Good question. Malehya and Daniel didn't really care for the children, the grandparents, aunts, uncles, brothers, and sisters. And that's a good question. Usually they don't. Usually they don't allow, kids if they're still in their diapers here, but I don't know about.
Okay. And so you come around.
It's not hard. It's not hard to open up gates anyway. They're just slide. Like, I always forget to close. My mom always reminds me, but they're just a slide and bolt lock, right?
Yeah.
A slide and bolt lock, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing hard about those locks at all.
Well,
but the fence wasn't even up then, was it? How would they find his pull-ups without his shorts or shoes? Maybe just overnight, maybe.
Maybe not, but I'm just kind of curious because if you can unlock it and open it, but if you're on the other side of the fence and you're small, can you reclose it?
Yeah, you can. You can. All you do is just pull the fence close to you and then close it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so it may not be.
Damn, why is it not working?
Long before law enforcement arrived.
I was told 12 minutes.
Okay.
But
hold on, this wasn't it. 1 second. Okay.
Box 2 is showing me as well, but none of them belong to Lily's, right? I mean, none of was found. There was a pink blanket, there was a water bottle, there was a children's T-shirt, and there may have been a sock or socks too, is showing me as well, but none of them belong to Lily's, right? I mean, none of them were Lily's, none of them were Jack's.
You hear that? I mean, none of them were Lily's, right? I mean, none of them were Lily's and none of them were Jack's. Because he's talking about multiple things there. Blankets, bottles, all of that. None of them were Lily's, right? No, none of them were Lily's. None of them were Jack's. The only one who had a gate was Janie's green fenced-in yard. Yes. Totally looking for validation. Totally.
Do you know if all those items were found at the same place or were they found throughout?
I'm not sure where they were found. I was just told that, are any of these items Lily and Jack's? We found them during the search.
Were they photographed together?
Why does it keep going? Ugh. Come on, man. Work.
Found.
That was found. It would have been during the daytime, so
Give me 1 second.
would have to be after 4 because the school bus goes up there around 4 o'clock.
Gotcha. And
because that school bus, it goes up and it actually goes up and turns at my Uncle Ron's house.
Oh, Uncle Ron. Here it is. Hold on, look at this.
So.
And
watch his face. Oh, damn.
Daniel, I mean, anything's possible. This case.
Oh my God. Why is it doing this? Okay, watch this. Watch his face.
how did that go?
Actually, there was twice. First time, when she was on the run with Meadow, fled to the reserve when she wasn't being supervised. Darren called.
Okay. So the other, fuck, is my camera not working again? Yes, he's thrilled, but I just realized something else that I was going to talk about this. I'm frozen. Shit. Hold on. Okay, it's not working. So let me just. Goodness gracious. Okay. But listen to what he says right there. Yes, he is obsessed. But I'm going to show you, in my opinion, why. Listen, because I know for a fact that Daniel is so obsessed about him knowing everything about Malehya that he entangles himself with people that talk to Malehya. But listen to what he says right here.
And have you spoken with Malehya since any of this has happened?
Yes, I did. I did one time.
How did that go?
Actually, there was twice. First time, when she was on the run with Meadow, fled to the reserve when she wasn't being supervised.
How does he know she wasn't being supervised? How does he know she wasn't being supervised? And look how he lights up. Watch his eyes. He goes from this.
And have you spoken with Malehya since any of this has happened?
Smile.
Yes, I did. I did one time.
His eyes.
How did that go?
He's got, seriously, there are, he's got the serial eyes. Yes, Joyous, but he's got very, very wide set eyes with like the fold in the corner of his eyes, which is the killer eyes. It's a trait.
Actually, there was twice. First time, when she was on the run with Meadow, fled to the reserve when she wasn't being supervised. Darren called me and said Malehya's unsupervised. So then I called Malehya's phone from my aunt's phone because I was at my uncle's at the time.
Licking his lips.
Used my aunt's phone. I called Malehya's phone. Malehya picked up, and I could tell from the background that she was in a moving vehicle. So Darren was correct on that. And so then I called major crimes investigators and I said, Malehya's on the run with Meadow. And they said, there's nothing we can do, Daniel. You got to call CPS for that. Troy called CPS, but they were already closed. And it was actually Cindy, her own mother, which called CPS on Malehya, which had Meadow removed.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And so,
that's something new that the public probably doesn't know.
See his lip. Of course they did. It's sick, terrifying. He wanted a Netflix deal. Yeah, I was the one that showed that text about the Netflix thingy. He thinks he's a cool cat and kitten, doesn't he?
And what ended up resulting? What happened? Did CPS find her, pick her up?
CPS went to her father's house along with RCMP, I do believe, and they actually took Meadow out of her care while she was at Henry's.
Gotcha. And Meadow's been in CPS with CPS since?
She's in foster care.
Gotcha. And are there any is there an end result in that? Do you guys think that she'll be in foster care for much longer?
I think we got more out of this interview than any other interview.
Initial search, I think it was like 6 or 7 days. I'd have to look at all the actual how many days they were here for, but it was 6 or 7 for the first initial search, and then they came back the next weekend and they did that search as well. And that doesn't include when the dive teams came in. I talked with those guys after they were done finishing Lansdowne Lake and some of the ponds and the streams, and they assured me that there was no evidence that the kids were near any water.
Daniel.
Interesting.
Daniel, you don't know how many days they searched for initially? It was 6 days. 6 days. I know that. Yeah. Yeah. The thing was, yes, essentially taken away from Cindy as well because she was not supposed to be out of Cindy's care, and Malehya took Meadow, so she got taken away from Cindy too. Hell nosy. Wow. Hell no.
And your property, I know it was recently searched with the cadaver dogs.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Hold on.
In the streams,
Listen.
and they assured me that there was no evidence that the kids were near any water.
No evidence the kids were near any water. Not any water, Daniel. Any is all. Any is all. They are not near the pond water, which, to be honest with you, still today, I think it needs researched by someone that actually does water searches routinely. Exactly, Shelby. Not in the water, not in the woods. Okay, so where then? Night cam.
Second, third. How many times?
The amount of times the property was searched was, I can't even put a number on it, Daniel, because it was constantly new people coming in and walking through the property. Like for the whole time, there was just new people coming in. I mean, there's the amount of ribbons I see around. It's in the thousands in Lansdowne.
In the thousands in Lansdowne.
Gotcha. And so they're coming in, they're searching the property. How long before you're brought into a police station?
I was brought in. I don't remember what day I was brought in because all the days mashed together. Mm-hmm. But I was brought in by 2 investigators that were originally on the case.
So the days that that wasn't ordinary days, they just mashed together. And the ordinary days, he can't remember.
I don't know if that was all planned or not, Daniel.
Hold on, maybe it was that one.
What's going on?
And so you get your phone back. What all, I mean, I'm understanding that they went through your text messages, your bank accounts, your locations.
Uh-huh.
What else were they able to access from your phone?
Oh, they got access to everything, Daniel.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably looked, I mean, they had it for over a week, so they could have just looked through everything.
And did they have any questions referencing what they looked through with the phone after they gave it back?
No, they didn't. I didn't question them on it, and they didn't question me. They said, here's your phone back.
Daniel, you are so arrogant to think you can question the RCMP on it.
Everything's good.
And how long was it between the time that they gave you your phone back and the time that you took the polygraph test?
I may have taken the polygraph exam when they had my phone.
Oh, okay.
I don't quite remember that. It's hard for me to remember all because usually I'm not pulling up date to date, right? So
with that, I know you said that, hey, about the kids having been visited by CPS and things of that nature. Can you clear that up? Like,
listen to
I will actually clear that up. I cleared it up many times online.
You didn't clear shit up. You lied.
But there's still people that seem to have misconceptions on that. Okay. So CPS actually did come to the house, and that was about Jack and Lily's behavior.
This guy, Daniel, he says they come for Jack and Lily's behavior. Listen, CPS does not ever come for a 4 and a 6-year-old's behavior. They come for the parents' behavior, or they fear that their life could be and safety is in jeopardy. That is absolute, complete bullshit. Lil Bit 68 Oreo coming in clutch at 6 months, girl. How you doing? How you doing, girl? Thank you so much. Back to the flexor. Back to the flexor. Well, he said Jack and Lily would not listen to Malehya, and they were getting in trouble at school. Good night, Joyous. I hope yours was too, baby. Thank you so much. Blaming the victims. Absolutely. He's so full of shit. For those of you that know, my best in life friend and neighbor is a CPS agent, and she has been there over 20 years. I showed her this, and she literally rolled her eyes.
Especially at school. And then they were
their behavior, especially at school. He's in fucking preschool. He's in fucking preschool. You buffoon.
about to be diagnosed with, or be sent for the diagnosis of autism. They were,
in my opinion, I'm not a doctor. Those children did not have autism. In my opinion, they were abused and neglected, malnourished, and not given any fucking attention.
the school wanted that, and me and Malehya wanted that as well. The main reason why CPS came out is to, give us phone numbers and give us some instruction and who could we go to learn more about dealing with their behavior.
The CPS director came out and said, yes, they had been out there before. The teachers have said that they were out there because the teachers were concerned about things going on in that home because Jack and Lily were showing up with a lot of bruises. Yes, in Canada, RCMP can run any kind of scam on Daniel. Sure, they're his best friends. Unfortunately, he is incredibly dumb. They could even inform him he had passed the polygraph and even failed. Yes, they could inform us that he passed the polygraph and even failed as well. So was this Jack's first year of school? That's a good question. I don't know. Dr. Daniel, they had the effects of abuse and rug residue. Teachers also bought winter clothing for the kids. Absolutely.
Behaviors.
So it had nothing to do with.
See his lizard lips when he did that? Their behaviors.
To learn more about dealing with their behaviors.
So it had nothing to do with a black eye?
No.
Watch him. His blink rate goes up.
What's the story behind the?
Now look at that. Watch him. Watch him smile. Watch him smile at that. It wasn't about their black eye. And then he smiles. Who would smile at that?
A black eye?
No.
What's the story behind the black eyes? Because I think it's been something a lot of people have been asking about. That
I'm glad
there's a multiple black eyes. What would you want to clear up about that?
I mean, the black eyes. It definitely was not from me. Daniel would come out and say that first.
It definitely was not from me. Definitely was not from me. But his kids said he was abusive to Jack and Lily. And that's coming from Daniel as well.
Come out, because I know the world thinks that, and
sure do.
And that's absolutely heartbreaking for me to be accused of that stuff.
No, it's heartbreaking for Jack and Lily. It's not about you, mother chicken. It's not about you. It's about Jack and Lily. But you want to make it about you.
Because as you can see, and even in the court documents, Malehya refers to as Daniel was an involved parent, and he didn't even physically discipline the kids.
Yeah, she does say that because, in my opinion, because they didn't about the CPS. Me too, fun to ski. I used to talk to Peter all the time behind the scenes, and he was so good to me. Right? Yep. Yep. Exactly, Ugg. Yep. Except, you know, you know what's absolutely heartbreaking, Daniel? Let me show you what's absolutely heartbreaking. This is heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking. You garbage. Durwood said Daniel and Malehya fought over how he disciplined the children. Yes. That's heartbreaking. Let me find it here. This is heartbreaking. This is heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking. Let me find this. This is heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking. He doesn't even have a nail left or something. And you can see, look at this nail right here. I think he has a nail fungus because you can see it's lifted here or they've been peeled up. That's heartbreaking. That's Jack's hands. He has to tell himself these lies in order to feel justified and not to have fully processed his wrongdoings, and all of this is such denial. Very well said. Very well said. I don't know, fun. It's bad. All I know is a 4 and a 6-year-old should not fucking have this stuff on them. Wouldn't surprise me, Tina, at all. At all. Okay, guys, I'm going to end it here. My camera's not working. So I'm going to call it a night. It's almost midnight here. I love each and every single one of you. You guys are rock stars. Thank you for being here, for your support. Thank you for being here for these missing and endangered kids and adults. I hope you all had an amazing Christmas, and I hope your new year is even better. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. I got to get this camera fixed, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to try to be live tomorrow around 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern for the first live, and then tomorrow another live after that. Thank you guys. Justice is coming. I do believe it. I do believe it. You too, Darlene. Thank you guys. Good night, everyone. God bless each and every one of you.